This example asks us to do the opposite of what we had done in the first example. In the first example, we were given the system of inequalities and asked to graph it. In this one, we are given the graph and asked to write the system. So again, the directions say write a system of inequalities that define the shaded region below. Well, before you can write the system, first try just writing equations for both of these lines. Remember, we do have slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. And we can write an equation if we know the y-intercept and we know the slope. So if you look at this dashed line here, our y-intercept hits right here at 1. Because again, this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis. So we know our y-intercept is 1. And our slope is rise over run. So how much are we rising and how much are we running each time? 1 over 1, so we can just write it as 1x. Or we don't even have to write a 1. Okay, so we know the equation for this line is y equals x plus 1. If we look at the second line here, let's do the same thing. Using our slope-intercept form, we need our y-intercept. If you look here, it's hitting at a -2. And our slope is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So again, we have a slope of 1. So you can think of this as y equals 1x minus 2 or y equals 1x plus a -2. So now we have two equations, but that doesn't complete our system. Yes, it's a system of equations, but we want a system of inequalities. So basically what you need to do is kind of work backwards. We know we're going to have y something less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to x plus 1. We just don't know what's going to be here. So again, if we use the point 0, 0, plug it in. 0 is what to 0 plus 1? We end up with 0 and 1, and we know that 0 is less than. So 0 is less than 1. We can write in y is less than x plus 1. So there is one of our equations. Now also notice that I left it as just less than. The reason for it is because this is a dashed line. Because it's a dashed line, remember it's going to be less than or greater than, but not equal to. Let's use the same idea for our second equation, or our second inequality. Y is what to x minus 2? If I again use 0, 0, so I'm still plugging in 0, 0, 0 is what to 0 minus 2? Basically, 0 is what to a -2? 0 is greater than a -2. So if 0 is greater than a -2, we know that our equation must be y is greater than x minus 2. And since this is a solid line, we're going to say y is greater than or equal to x minus 2. So if you had to write your system, we would have y is less than x plus 1 and y is greater than or equal to x minus 2. When you're asked to write a system of inequalities, take each line, or even if there's a third line, separate and write an equation for it. Keep in mind that we have slope-intercept form. We also know x equals a number is vertical. And we know that y equals a number is horizontal. So if you're given a vertical or horizontal line, we can use these two equations. Once you have the equation set up, then try to figure out the inequalities. If possible, use the point 0, 0 to help you figure out if we're talking about values less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to.